Hi there, Leo. This is Carrie at wooingnature.life, and this is your monthly reading for May. And I am going to be reading today from the Sacred Earth Oracle. I'll be pulling a couple of cards from this deck. I'll also be reading from Carolyn Mace's archetype cards, and these are personality traits, so we'll be looking at the people around you or the people in you, Leo. And then I am also going to be reading from the 1001 Nights, the tarot of the 1001 Nights. And finally, I will be reading from the alphabet for lovers, and I'll just be looking at relationships in general. Just pulling the top 3 relationships, Leo, that you might be dealing with. It could be any kind of relationship, not just romantic. All right, so let's start with Sacred Earth. Out of the Sacred Earth, I'll be pulling 2 cards. This will be 2 focal points for the month of May. Just 2 things to kind of put your mind around, to look for, to observe. You know, sometimes when you have something, you know, a focus, then it'll come up for you. So you want to look at how it comes up for you. Just be pulling 2 concepts for Leo for the month of May. All right. So these are 2 new ones. I got some repeats in the other cards. So we have expectation and we have surface. Expectation and surface. So expectation, and whatever comes up for you when you hear that word expectation, it could have, it could just from an emotional standpoint feel negative or positive, whichever category you want to put that in, or neutral, doesn't matter. But whatever comes up for you when you hear expectation, that's something for you to deal with or to think about. All right. For me, expectation can be about what you want or desire, or it could be about what somebody else wants or desires. And you just have to think about that. Because either way it goes, we're grown enough for our wants not to hurt us. Okay? So you can have an expectation, a hope, a desire, or something that you anticipate. It could or could not happen in that same way. And why is that? Because everyone is has free will. Everybody has free will. And so they are making choices just like you are making choices. So if you are in a relationship with someone where expectations become an issue, then you have to examine your expectations and you have to make a decision. So if I expect for you to wash the dishes every night and you don't, then I have to make a decision about how I'm going to handle that, or how I'm going to deal with my expectation of you. Am I going to just forget the expectation? Am I going to try to demand it of you? And then what does that create? So that's what you want to think about most importantly, your expectations, or if you're living according to someone else's expectations. Expectation is loaded. Trust me. All right, so surface. And what I'm seeing here is a reflection. To me, it looks like a reflection of a person. So there's a deeper part, and then there's a whatever is on the surface. So you want to look at what you are presenting on the surface, and then what's going on underneath, Leo. Because what's beneath the surface is going to rise to the surface at some point. So you'll want to examine just a layer or 2 beneath what's going on with you, in you, and around you. Just dive a little deeper and to see what's going on, because I'm getting here that there could be some masking. You're presenting one way, but then you know how you really feel is something else. That's a part of you being able to get a handle on your inner communication. It's about your inner communication, because before you can communicate effectively with someone else, you have to be clear about what's happening with you and it. Because sometimes when you have that inner dialogue, that's where you have your inner dialogue, right? When you have that inner dialogue, you're like, well, why do I feel this way? You realize it's really you, and you need to correct yourself. So really the dialogue or the real communication maybe need to happen within you rather than with the other person to begin with. So imagine that you have not had your conversation with yourself, and now you're trying to have a conversation with somebody else about their expectations. And you don't even know really how you are with that, what bothers you about it, or what you really want. Then that's going to be a confusing conversation for you and that significant other. And that will create a lot of communication problems in your relationships. Okay? So you've got to go beneath the surface. Like, so for everything that you may be feeling, any frustration that you might be feeling, conflicts that you may have with other people, you want to go beneath your own surface and find out, okay, why does that really bother me? Why do I really want this? Do I really want this? Is it important to me? Is it really important? Is it really important? And this is a great time to do that kind of examination. All right, so expectations is what you're thinking about, and surface, coming up from the surface, going beneath the surface and bringing that which is underneath to the surface in a good way, in a positive way. And there's ways to communicate through that. There are ways to communicate through that when we teach those through the management program, through the intuitive life management program. We can teach you how to do those communications if you feel like you're really at your wit's end. But I think that once you start to go in, Leo, and you start digging beneath the surface of some of the feelings and emotions that you're having yourself, you'll start to resolve some of that on your own. Wooing Nature is just here if you need an extra push. Okay? All right, so moving right along to Carolyn Mace, the archetype cards. Archetypes are personalities, personality traits, ways that we are. I tell people in this stack is all the human beings. All our human behaviors, our ways. Some of these things are going to be in you. They're going to be personality traits that you're dealing with. They're going to be, ways that you're operating. Some of them may be people around you. Teachers and allies and frenemies and that kind of stuff. I'm just going to pull 3 of these for Leo. Just 3. Top 3. Top 3 to think about. We don't want to overwhelm. We don't want to overwhelm ourselves. Alright, let's see what's going on. Alright, so... Oh, I did not say that these cards come in light and shadow. So if they come in reverse, I read the shadow side of the archetype. And then if it comes in upright, I read the light side. So all of these archetypes have a light and shadow, which I think is really interesting if you're thinking about, if you're dealing with people, if you're a healing worker of any kind, and you're dealing with certain personalities, sometimes difficult personalities. If they come in the shadow and they're operating in the shadow, you can look at the light side of the attribute and see how to kind of maneuver and deal with them. But anyway, you're in good shape. You've got you have the networker operating in the light. This is a person who enhances unity through the sharing of information. Somebody that engenders social awareness and empathy. So this could be you, Leo, or it could be somebody around you. But these are people who are connector points, and we know what networkers are. They are connecting points. They're points of light. People who are points of light for me. And the relationship that you're having brings unity together. So it'll be more than one, more than likely, of course, that you're dealing with. So this is at work. It could be, if some of you right now are probably at in the position where you do have to connect and make some other kinds of networks, or you are experiencing other networks because we've been kind of out of the loop with the global health crisis. So networking may be important for you moving forward, especially if you're moving forward into something new, or if you're trying to create something new out of this. Networking would be really important. So either way it goes, if you're doing something, Leo, that is of a social that creates well, no, what am I trying to say? Social social awareness, community building. If you're part of an organization that is could be a nonprofit organization or some kind of organization that is doing something for people that, either bridges people together or connects people together. Could be a social justice thing, certain social injustice. I'm getting social injustices. So for those of you who are involved in that, keep your networks going, keep your flames of light going, and stay connected to the people who are on the same page as you. And then you all might need to network with each other, because a lot of times in those situations you have people who are really about it, and then you have people who really ain't about it. And then those people who are really about it kind of, get in the huddle. You may need to do some networking just with that core group of people, because you may end up creating something else out of it. I don't know. That's some specific stuff. All right, slave. We got the slave here. There is a light and a shadow side to the slave, and this is the light side of the slave. Surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. Okay? So in the light attribute of the slave, you really become the servant of the creator, of the divine. You give yourself in exchange for care, the care of the divine. So this isn't about you become a slave to the rhythm or a slave to somebody. Okay? It's about having complete trust in the creator, which is really just surrendering. To me, this is more about surrendering. So, well, it says it, surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. Now, this is my warning about this card. Be careful what you are becoming a slave to. Surrender is good. We all need to surrender, but surrender to the divine. Okay? You're not giving over yourself for somebody else's thing, somebody else's power, somebody else's. Got to be careful about the somebody else's. Okay? Make sure that you are surrendering to the divine. That's my message. All right. So we have the scribe, but it's coming in the shadow side. Of course, we know what a scribe is, somebody who records information. In the shadow, it says altering facts or plagiarizing the works of others. All right, so I hope this is not you, Leo. I don't think it is. If it is you, cease and desist. And if it's not you, then you'll want to be mindful of that. Anybody that you're around, make sure that if you are a scribe, a playwright, writer of any kind, make sure you're getting your copyrights on your stuff before you send it out. Don't go sharing things too much with people. Don't share all your ideas and your concepts with people who aren't on board with your thing that you're doing, who aren't invested. Invest. Look that word up. If somebody is not invested in what it is that you are doing in the way that you feel like they need to be invested, then you want to be mindful about how much information you are sharing with people, because they will take your stuff. All right, Leo, there we have it. All right, moving right along from Carolyn Mace, we are going to jump right in with the tarot of the 1001 Nights. I like to use tarot for detailing. You know, we get some overview, some general concepts about what's going on, look at some of the people that you might be dealing with, and then we can jump into the tarot and get some details about May. Hopefully this will kind of pull it all together for us. Not ready yet. Not ready. Got cards flipping out already. And I'm not ready. Leo. All right. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what's happening, Captain. Yes, indeed. Leo. Month of May. Things to think about. Ooh. Okay. I'll take that one. All right, so right off the bat, we got the Hermit, Leo. We got the Hermit card here. This is when you have to go out and be by yourself for a little while so you can get yourself together. That's what you got to do. You got to spend some time alone. You've probably been spending some time alone, hopefully. Maybe you've gotten to, maybe not. If you've been in the house with family, that might have been difficult. But go take a walk. Go spend some time out in nature. Whenever you can get that alone time, take it, because you're going to need it probably later on. I'm getting connected with trees and with stones. So if you're a stone person, or if you're not, get some stones around you. I'm seeing lapis. For you, Leo. Trees and lapis. All right, anything else for Leo? Is that it? I'm shuffling the cards, ain't nothing popping out. All right, so we have, okay. So this is about you revitalizing your spirit. Your spirit needs to be revitalized. The old shit has to go and the new has to come in, and you need your rest, you need your time out so that that energy can be lifted, right? If you're always going, your body is not still enough for it to happen. And I am getting that this is about ascension. So if you're not familiar with the ascension process, go on Google and look it up and find a page that resonates with you in some way, and you can learn more about that. But I am getting that this is in relationship to the ascension process, and that you need to be resting more so that the assimilation of the energy that's trying to come in can get in. Your body and your mind and your spirit's too busy. Yes, you need the calm. You need like a calm place, a way to reestablish some new boundaries. There's an ending of a cycle and another one coming in for you, Leo. I'm getting that with the 9 in this card, where you're leaving, you're having the old energy has to go. That's coming in the number 9. 9s represent endings of cycles. Then the new territory is this one. That's in the 1. So it's new territory. It's going to be new territory for you, but you have to establish new boundaries. But if you are operating with the old boundaries, when you get to the new stuff, it's not going, it ain't, you know, stuff's going to be like, and going to be like, I can't figure out, right? And you don't want that. I'm feeling like there may be a new, literally a new territory for you. Maybe you're moving to a new city, new place, new home, new town, new something. Yeah, and then that opportunity for that to happen is trying to get through, or trying to come through. It's coming through in the 6 of swords. 6s usually represent family. Could be some family dynamics or family situations that need to be resolved. You know, you guys need to spend some time together or something, so that you can understand what the common thread is between you, what the commonality is between you. That's what you're looking for. There's something about the family, something of an emotional nature with the family, and you all have to do that together. You need to do it together. So family counseling would be great. But the main point of the family counseling needs to be centered around you all understanding a common thread. There is a common thread between you. It could be an ancestor, but there's some common denominator. And in the ancestor, it could be something, it could be an ancestor that's trying to reach out to you all. And then when the ancestor comes through, something about the ancestor that is in each of you that you need to focus on. And we have the Eight of Swords. So yeah, some people are going to be coming out the box. Some stuff is going to be coming out the box. It's good though. It's good though, right? Nothing wrong with surprises. Just some people don't like surprises. I know, I understand. But in this case, the surprise is really going to be beneficial because it's going to allow you to grow. It's going to allow you to reach the next level, the next octave, the next phase of your life. And again, remember, we're talking about endings and beginnings with this 9 and 1, getting to your new territory, being able to connect to the new territory. So just be open. I say family therapy. But hey, at the beginning of this reading, it was all about you finding time alone to be with yourself first and foremost, to rest and sleep so that that energy can move out and the new energy can move in to prepare yourself. So this is some group stuff that needs to happen. There's some new there's new information it's new information coming through, but the new information is going to plummet you forward because you're going to be open and willing to do that because you will have spent your time alone and gotten your rest and let some of these things go. And you may actually be the healing personnel, you know, or you might be the impetus for the change to happen. You maybe something that you say, or you know, out of your time alone, you'd be like, look, fam, we need to get it together. Definitely family stuff. Anything else for Leo for the month of May? Anything else for Leo month of May? Nope, that's it. That's it. Short, sweet, to the point though. Good stuff. So that's something for you to just kind of be with. Don't push it. You know what I'm saying? You're not the therapist. You're not the therapist, Leo. Just keep that in mind. All right. So moving right along to the lovers. The lovers. I'm looking at all love relationships. Could be parents, could be friends, could be co-workers. We have family, work families. We have our own families. You have family, Leo, that you're dealing with. So we're looking at all. Could be romantic, could be your spouse, could be your children, doesn't matter. So all I'm doing is just pulling 3 cards that represent relationships that Leo may be experiencing at this time, and then wherever that resonates with you, could be family, or if I get anything about how it's resonating with me for you, I'll let you know. So I pulled 3, just the top 3, the 3 to think about for the month of May. We'll start with the number 44. To be redeemed after a painful relationship. So for some of you, Leo, you are dealing with the past relationship that was painful for you, and this is about you coming out of it. This could be the family thing that we're talking about with you, but 44 is a powerful number. We already know that. That's a double building. That's when you take whatever conflict you may have had within you and you graduated, you worked through it or whatever. Now you can build from it. And not only can you build from it, you can go to the next level, because a 4 and a 4 is 8, even though we don't break it down. So at any rate, this is a painful relationship that you have gone through in the past, that you have needed to be rescued from. You were needing a rescue from, and you are receiving the rescue from it. And it's really coming from inside of you. You don't realize that, but you're getting the help that you need to get past that, whether it be a word from somebody, kind gestures from friends, whatever it is. Count it all as blessings and joy that is bringing you to a place of peace around this. And you know, your angels, your spirit guides have been with you, and they are giving you the out, and you're going to be able to move past this. This is a really great thing to see. All right, and then the next one we have restoring integrity and openness, which makes sense, especially if you're dealing with a painful relationship, whether that relationship lacked integrity or whether it brought you to a place where you were not operating in integrity. And I'll say just for a moment, when we talk about integrity, we're not just talking about, we are talking about your morals, your values, and things like that. But when we talk about integrity, it's really you being able to be you. Because in order for you to walk in integrity, you have to be you. Whatever you is, with your flaws, with your mess ups, with, you know, your mess, your good stuff, your bad, all of it, right? So if you were in a relationship that was painful, it can cause you to be out of integrity or be operating outside of yourself. So this is restoring. This is an opportunity to restore that. It's like growing, planting new seeds, growing new things within yourself. And all of these cards, Leo, I'm seeing the partnership, but I'm really feeling like the partnership is with you. It is you partnering with yourself, and you realizing that you are your own best company in this situation. But it could be some other person that you're growing with that may be showing you, or that may be kind of pushing you along. But I'm not getting that this is like, you know, for real though, like physical partnership with somebody else. It's almost like there are people who are coming in and out of your life right now, and they just may be breezing through. But it's just to show you something or to show you an aspect of yourself, and you're just soaking it up, and you're being in that place where you're really more or less embracing and embodying the relationship that you're having with yourself, which I think is really, really great. Everybody should do that, really. And then this card is handling militancy wisely. So if there is argument, or if you are feeling agitated, aggravated, certainly if you are being assaulted, you will want to call somebody and move away from that situation if that is you. But when we talk about militancy in a relationship can be combativeness, dealing with combative, you're in combat, or you feel like you're battling with somebody. And again, if you're dealing with that, you'll need to learn how to handle it. Because some people are combative. And you can try to combat that. And if you're losing that battle, then that's not your battle. It's theirs. Let them fight themselves in the corner. Okay? That's what you do. You want to fight yourself in the corner. Go over there. But I'm not with it. Okay? Yeah, if this is your issue, if you're dealing with this in a way that's really, really bothering you, then by all means seek your professional help from wherever that is, and or get yourself to a safe place. I'm not talking about you physically being harmed right now, because if it's something physical, somebody's doing something being physically combative with you, you need to move away from that situation, period. Okay? But if it's just people being combative in nature, like, you know, like somebody pushing your buttons, every time I say cat, you say dog, if I say black, you say white, it's always some kind of little battle. You need to communicate through that. It could help to go to counseling if you're dealing with that. But learning how to handle that wisely is your way past butting your head up against a brick wall. You don't want to go there with the head. You don't know. Okay? So get the help that you need to deal with that combative kind of stuff, because that combative stuff is annoying, right? At the most, it can be dangerous. on the other end of the spectrum, it can be completely annoying. And if it's annoying and you don't want it anymore, then you got to figure out how to deal with it and how to manage that, or how to walk away, one or the other. All right, Leo, that is your reading for May. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great May, and I hope you're having a wonderful life.